Hello everyone and welcome to our live webinar. In this webinar we are going to show you a live demo of the Deal Analyzer. I will share the screen to show you the agenda. So we will start with introduction of the Lendlord Deal Analyzer. Then we'll go over how you can set up long-term assumptions and you can see how they impact your metrics, how you can generate a PDF report with the deal that you just analyzed, and how you can create your prospect property pipeline. Basically, it can be like some kind of like a mini CRM to manage your. Then we'll touch on information and data. So how you can get more information that will help you to do the due diligence on the property. Everything using Lendlord, we have access to this data. After that, we will touch the mobile version, and we'll end by finding the finance solutions to basically to fund your deal also with our app. And then we'll have like time for questions and answers. Please feel free to put your questions in the chat. If it's something that is relevant to the topic that I'm speaking on, then Nick will let me know and I can relate to the question. If not, we will answer all the questions in the end. So let's start with the introduction to the Deal Analyzer. So I will start with the dashboard. If you already created your Lendlord account, if you just created it, the dashboard will be empty. And if you just use the Deal Analyzer, it might remain empty while you're building your portfolio. So I will go directly to the Deal Analyzer. You can go from the main menu or from the dashboard. You have some actions. One of them is Analyze New Deal. The Deal Analyzer will be opened. And the first thing you need to put is the address. Why to put the address? Because once you put the address, you will start to receive initial information. Of course, you can also put just like a name of the deal if you don't want to get the actual address. So let's put address. We use Google Map auto-completion. So basically, you just need to start typing and then we'll get the auto-completion. We'll get the rest of the address for you. And you just need to pick from the list. Then immediately I start to receive on this bar, property information, some information about this property. We extract this information, so you can see the property type, the EPC level. We will touch on it after during the webinar. What is the floor area in square meters? The average yield in this postcode, and the 5-year growth, average annual growth in this postcode. Then basically you need to start to analyze the numbers. So first put the purchase price. The purchase price is what you're going to offer on the property. And the second input will be the expected rental income. So basically you just need to put these two inputs and you will start to receive the first year metrics and the long-term metrics. And from now on, you just need to tweak the data. First thing is the property value. It's different from the purchase price because there is a chance that you were able to purchase the property in a lower price from the actual price or from the market price of this property. Here you can use our API to property data to estimate the value of this property by entering some input. Is it like it's a flat? What is the construction period? The internal area that we already extracted, the number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, the interior finish quality, the outdoor space, and if there is off-street parking space or not. Click estimate, and it will take a few seconds and you will see the result and what is the estimated value. Bear in mind that this is just an indication. And you know there might be, of course, some mistake. It's not 100% is what I want to say. So you can use your own and you can update the value based on the estimation. What I'm doing today is not a real property that I'm now analyzing. I'm just showing like an example with fake numbers. So in this case, I will use my own assumption. I'm assuming that I'm going to purchase this property 20K more, 20K less. Then you have the stamp duty. The calculation will be changed tomorrow, but this is a conversation for another webinar. But of course, you can also, this is like calculated by the platform, but you can change the number to the actual stamp duty that you're going to pay. So now I want to complete this part of the purchase details. So the refurb cost is if you're going to do some kind of a refurbishment for this property, including some furnishing. Energy rating improvements, we'll touch it on the data section. So you can check potential costs to increase the EPC level to a higher level that can definitely impact many areas of the property and the finance of this property. Then put the other costs. It's important to put something here because, you know, nothing is for sure, and you need to be more conservative when you analyze deal. So it's better to put more costs and then be on the safe side if something happens. Click save, and you will have the entire refurb cost here. Then put the closing costs. So you're going to pay legal fees, convincing, mortgage fees, the inspection costs. Let's put something here. And if you have any other closing costs, you can put them as well. So then I completed the purchase details section. So the entire cost to purchase this property is $496,922. Even if I pay just $150 on the property, I need to invest this to complete the purchase and the refurbishment. Now I will go continue to scroll down, and I will touch the cash investment. The default of the platform is 35%, but you can play with it. You can play with the slider, so if you can put more or less. And of course, every time you change something, you can take a look on the metrics. The metrics including the first year metrics, so what is the short-term loan, short-term return that you should be expected to see. So you can see what is going to be the annual net cash flow for this property in the first year, and what is the monthly net cash flow in the brackets. The cash on cash is what is the return on your cash investment. And there are other metrics. We will not touch them today because this is for another webinar that we might do in the next few weeks. But for property investor that wants to get all the metrics, you have them here, including the gross net yield, the first year ROI, the cap rate. And then you have the long-term metrics. And here basically you can see what is the long-term ROI. So, and this is based on the long-term assumptions. So basically you can say, okay, I'm going to hold this property for 10 years or 12 years. And you can see how it changes your ROI over time. The IRR is the internal rate of return. Basically, it's like kind of like an annual yield that take into account many parameters, including the inflation. And so you can see if I change the inflation, the IRR will be changed as well. Another thing that will change the long-term metrics is the property appreciation. So you can see that in this postcode, there is nice capital growth. So perhaps I can expect even higher numbers of property appreciation every year. Same for the rent appreciation. If I'm expecting to see rise in the rent in this area. And another thing is the occupancy rate that is very important. So you need to assume that this is a rental property that we are now analyzing. So there might be periods of vacancy. So you should take it into account. So for instance, if you put 92%, it means that at least 1 month a year, the property will be empty. But you can be more optimistic and put higher numbers and see how it impacts your results. So then I will come back to the cash investment. So the cash investment will definitely affect your loan.
Aviram?
Yeah?
Aviram, hi hello everyone, my name's Nick. Just quickly before you move on, we do have a couple of questions with reference to the box that you've been filling out so far. Would now be an appropriate time to ask them?
Yes, so yeah, we can discuss the purchase details if
Right. If you've got what Anon asked, where is the property information coming from?
So many, like few sources, not many sources. So some of the data is being extracted from the web, and some of the data is by using the API of property data. It's a sourcing platform for I think that they cover almost the entire UK. So we get information from there in terms of average yield in the postcode, capital growth, and we'll show in a few minutes more information that you can get using this source.
And thank you, Aviram. And then Paul Thomas quickly asks, what do the various options on the outside space mean?
Okay, so the outside space, it means, I think that it was on the property value estimation. Okay, so we have none. If you have balcony, terrace, garden, or very large garden, basically. So based on that, the algorithm of property data, based on the indication of data points that they have, will assume what is the property value.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'd like to carry on now, Aviram, please.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, feel free to jump in if the questions are around the areas that we speak now. So I will come back to the cash investment and the loan. So if you're going to use loan to finance this deal, bear in mind that almost all the buy-to-let lenders will not lend above 75%. So this is the maximum that you can get, and this will say that what is the amount you need to put in cash. In this case, it's 32% of the entire purchase cost. Okay, so the deposit that you need to put will be from the lower on the purchase price or the property value, while the entire cash needs to cover all the other costs, the stamp duty, the refurb cost, and the closing costs. So you need to know that you will need to put more cash even if you get the highest loan to value. Then you can see, okay, so what is the loan that you're going to get? And the mortgage rate that will touch what is your options. And what is the capital repayment type? So, or if it's a capital and interest or interest only, how you're going to repay the mortgage. Most of the deals that we see are like interest only, but you can change to capital and interest and see how it impacts your metrics. So in interest only, I can see that I have 15K of annual net cash flow, 9.5% cash on cash, and 3.26 long-term ROI. If I change to capital and interest, I can see that my annual cash flow, look, it went down from 15 to 5 because I'm now paying also the capital back to the lender. So it's impacting my net cash flow, but the long-term ROI, I think it was increased. And this is because you get more equity to your hand, and basically the equity stays with you, and you pay less interest rate on the capital on the mortgage balance that you still have. So basically, this impacts the long-term value. A great way to see it in the prospect report, and there you have the development. So if I click on the report, you will see the development of your equity mortgage balance over the years. So give it a second. So in the prospect report, I will scroll down. You can see this chart. So in this chart, you can see the development of the value based on the long-term assumptions. I can see the mortgage balance going down and the equity is going up. This is because this is a capital and interest deal. If I will change it back to interest only, and I will go again to the prospect report, then you see that the equity is going up, but just because of the property appreciation, just because the value of the property is increasing, I'm receiving more equity. The mortgage balance remains the same. So this is also something that you can test. Another thing you can do is to save the deal, and then on the address, this is basically the idea of this deal, you can add some text. So if you want to select interest only, and then you can save different scenarios of this deal and compare them on the My Portfolio page that we will show in a sec. So after I figure out the interest only capital interest, let's talk about the rate. So we provide the mortgage search. So we take all the details from that you already entered in the deal, and we search the whole of market using a sourcing platform that we connect to. And you can see the rates that are now available. And if you are a portfolio landlord and you keep your portfolio on our platform, we can also, like the engine analyzes your portfolio, and based on the criteria of the lenders, it will match the best results for you. So then you can just like select the rate and see, okay, how it's going to impact my metrics. Then the next section is the operating monthly expenses. So here you should put all the ongoing expenses. So basically, if I'm going to use a managing agent or a property manager, I need to put how much I'm going to pay in percentage, or I can change the amount. I'm going to pay landlord insurance on this property. You can also get in this link some options for to insure this in this property. There is a service charge, a ground rent, how much you're going to pay on utilities, maintenance, and of course, other monthly costs that I always put something here just to be more conservative and on the safe side. So after I put the operating costs, I can see the impact on my net cash flow and the other metrics. So this is the way I work. I update the details and then I go up to see how it impacts my results. And then the last section that we already touched is the long-term assumptions that will affect the long-term metrics. You can also put some notes. And another thing that you can do is to use this link, deal details, to put, if you have an agent that you work and you want to keep his details, it's very useful to put it here. You can also put the date of viewing and receive a reminder. And if you have some links that you want to store from Rightmove, Zoopla, or whatever, any other source, you can also store them here. And I click save. Then I'm going to save this prospect property, and I will see it on My Portfolio. So I'm going to stop now. Nick, if there are questions about this section, let's answer them now, and then we'll go back. You will go to the next topic.
We have a couple of questions. Editoro says it seems that the loan required is based on the total cost, including the refurbs, rather than the purchase value.
Again, can you repeat? I'm not sure I understood it. Can you repeat, Nick?
The loan required is based on the total cost, including the refurbs and other bits and pieces, rather than the purchase value.
If it should take, it should be 75% from the lowest between the purchase price and the property value. So let's just, just for, if I put 50% loan to value, then you see 2 to 5, that is half from the 450. So basically, the loan to value will be based on just on the lower between the purchase price or the property value. While the cash investment, the 54% in this case, will be from the entire costs.
Okay, thank you for that. I hope that clears it up for you, Editoro. Remember, everyone, a lot of these questions you might get confused on. There will be the video released of this tomorrow. There will be a thread put on Property Tribes tomorrow. Anyone can ask a question. A lot of these questions will be answered in further detail tomorrow. Hari, I hope I've got that pronounced right, wants to know about how can you link bank accounts?
Okay, good question, but not for this webinar. We have a webinar on that, and perhaps we are going to do a webinar fully in 2 weeks, perhaps, on how to manage your cash flow, link your bank account. So if you, in the end, I will keep my Calendly link. Nick will put it on the chat. So I'm more than happy to schedule calls with you guys, and we can go through, me or one of the team members, about any questions or any other functionality of Lendlord. And we also do we can do like another webinar just for that.
Okay, so just to clarify to that one, everyone, that you can link your bank accounts.
Oh yeah, you can, definitely.
You can do it, and it's not that hard to do. And I will link you to, towards the end of this, so everyone can see them at one point. They're supposed to be scattered through the chat box. I will put them at the end, where if between now and that webinar happening, if you want to get in touch with Aviram for some more one-to-one stuff, then you can do so. Further than that, I will dig out the link to any webinars we've done in the past on linking up bank accounts for further reference. Okay, please, back to you, Aviram.
Okay, so we are going to, so we discussed we did like the introduction. Then let's talk a bit more about the long-term assumptions, although I think that we covered it. So the long-term assumptions, so this is tricky because in order to basically make those assumptions, you need data. So I think that we will touch it on the data section. But based on the data, you can put four things that can affect your results. One is the estimation for the property appreciation. So what is going to be in the future in this area for the properties or for your property type specifically? Then here again, I would be more conservative, but you need data in order to do that. So we provide some of this data. The annual rent appreciation is the increase in the rental income in this area, also related to rental demand that we also supply, and of course the inflation, and the occupancy rate that talks about the vacancy of the property. So once you do that, it will basically affect your long-term metrics. How you can generate a report. So after I analyze this deal, I want to share it with someone, or I want to keep it even like out of my Lendlord account. So first, after you save it, it will be on your My Portfolio, unless you delete it. But if you want to export the data, the first step is to click on the prospect report. Then you have two options. One is export Excel. So if you export to Excel, I will not open it now, but you can review it after on your account. You'll have all the numbers in Excel spreadsheet, so you can also play with them there. And you can also export to a PDF by clicking export PDF, and then you can either print it or save it on your computer. So this is how you can generate a report. The prospect page, you can also upload the pictures. You can review the summary of all the details that you entered. The expenses breakdown based on the ongoing expenses that you entered. And the charts that I showed before about the property the value development, equity, and mortgage balance, and also what is going to happen to your cash flow. And you can see that in this case, my cash flow is going up. Also my expenses. And this is because the rent appreciation. So basically the rent appreciation that I put, the assumptions that I put basically increase my net cash flow over the years. And the inflation will affect my expenses. So we take into account the inflation to impact your expenses. So this will be also visible on this chart. And if you want to see it on a table, I will just go back to the Deal Analyzer. You can click on this link, holding period breakdown, and you can see the breakdown of this deal over the years from year 1 to year 14, because I choose like to hold it for 14 years. And here you can see the increase in the property value, the mortgage balance, the increase in the equity, and also the net cash flow and the net IOI. Okay. We have questions so far, or we can continue?
No, we're good to go at the moment. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. So how can I create my prospect property pipeline? So if I want to basically, I'm now reviewing like several properties, prospect properties, I can click on the save, and then on my portfolio, first you will see your existing properties. So in this case, I have 3 different properties that I currently own. In order to see my prospect properties, I can either deselect the properties, the existing one, or I can keep them. And then I will use this drop down to see all my prospect ones. You can see in this case, basically I have 4 different deals. Basically, there are like 2 properties here, because one I saved them, one with you see cash only. So if I purchase this property just with cash, the second one if I use a mortgage, and the third one is a mortgage but with a different loan to value level. And this is the deal that we just analyzed. So basically here you can basically have all the details, and here you can play with the views. So in this drop down, I can change to the performance view. So in the performance view, because it's not my existing properties, I will not see the last 12 months results, because I still didn't buy this property. But I will see the next 12 months metrics. There's just like the selected metrics that we put here. You can play with the columns and you can find other metrics that you want to include. For instance, the gross yield or the net yield, etc. And you can save the performance view to see them as well. The good thing with this, like it's a table like in Excel, you can order by any column. So if I want to see in these cases, which deal will give me the highest net cash flow, I will just click on this and then I can see, okay, it looks like it with this, because it's very leveraged, I see that I get, I think, you know what, I don't know, I'm not explain the reasons now because I don't remember what I did here, but I can see that this will give me the highest net cash flow. Because of that, also the highest cash on cash. The next 12 months ROI are lower, but I can also order by this column and you can see, okay, so this deal, the cash only will give me the best ROI in the next 12 months. You can see the same for the cap rate. And I can also take a look on the 10-year metrics. So how much equity I will have in this deal. I can order by and see which deal will give me the highest equity in 10 years and the highest ROI. So it really depends on your preferences, what you want to look, but you have everything here. So the performance view is very important to, it's also important, by the way, to analyze your existing properties, okay? And with these filters, you can also play what if scenarios. So if I have 3 properties and I'm going to add, let's say the chosen deal to my portfolio, I can see how much, what is going to be my net cash flow. Let's switch to the default view, okay? Just to see what is going to be my equity, the gross cash flow, etc. with this prospect property. I will deselect them again. Another important view is the deal details view. So this is basically your CRM. So just for this deal, I put the notes, the agent name, phone, email. So I have all the details of the agent here. I can also put the links to the property in Rightmove or any other source. So it's also useful. And in general, you can create your own views. So you can click add new view, create, let's put a name. and select the columns you want, the property address, and then I want to see just, let's say, the loan to value and the 10-year, let's say, ROI. The next one ROI, just 10-year ROI. So I want very simple view with 4 columns. I click save, and I have this view ready. If I want to export these details, I can just click on export to Excel, and I will have all this data available on Excel spreadsheet. So it's very customized to your needs. So this is the way you can basically store your pipeline and manage a mini CRM. Questions, Nick?
Yeah, well, Lucy wants to know, with reference to holding the property for long-term metrics, she wants to know if you can hold it indefinitely.
For the long-term metrics? So
I'm guessing, yeah.
So we currently limit it to 30 years, if I'm not mistaken, to analyze for 30 years. We are not allowing currently more than that.
Okay, so 30 years at the moment, Lucy. I'm sure that will be changed in the future. I suppose you get nearer 30 years, you can just keep on adding up another 30 years at some point.
Yep.
But 30 years currently. So that's all for the time being, Aviram. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, next topic, information. It's very important. How I can get more information about the deal that I'm going to do, about the postcode. So let's talk about that. So first, as I showed in the beginning, once you put the address, immediately you will receive some basic information about the property type, the EPC level, the total floor area, the average yield in this postcode, and the 5-year growth. I can click, so if the EPC level is low level, I can click on this link, rating increased costs, and this will take me to the government website. And here I can see that this is the current EPC level. And if I want to improve it, let's say to see what are going to be the costs. So how to improve the property energy performance. And there you can see recommendations and the associated costs of doing that. And then if you are going to do that, or you need to do that, make sure that you include it on the refurb costs and energy rating improvements. Now, I want now to get more information. I will click on the postcode information. So the postcode information, you will receive like 3 searches per month for free, but this is part of our premium plan. The premium plan contains the connecting to open banking, and so you can link your bank account, link Zero, get unlimited mortgage searches and some other features. But you have 3 searches that you can do every month. If you want more, you need to upgrade because there are some costs associated with that. Then what you can get out of this page. First, you can see the 5-year capital growth. So I can see what was the capital growth in this postcode every year. The property demand analytics, if it's a seller or buyer market, how many properties for sale, some information about the crime in this area, information about the rental demand, how easy is to rent this property in this postcode, some information about the price per square foot, and some demographic data in terms of politics, the commute method, and the age distribution in this postcode. All of this data can definitely help you to decide if you want to do this acquisition, to purchase the property or not, and also will help you to put your assumptions correctly for the long term. And also we have some information about the schools in this area. And this is provided by Property Data API. And so this is it. So this is the way that you can get information about the postcode and about the property. Nick, we go continue?
Yeah, carry on for the time being, Aviram. Just to let you know, everyone, the purpose behind this one is because obviously numbers never lie. We've tried to make this as much data-driven as possible. So when you're making that decision, ultimately, it can guide you through which ones make sense and which ones don't by putting in the correct data in the first place. It does get a little confusing at the front end to see which bits you need to deal with, but ultimately, it's quite a simple system once you bend your head around it. And the thing is, it will not allow you to buy something bad unless you put the incorrect data in it. That's the point about it. And no other questions for the time being, Aviram, if you'd like to carry on.
Okay. So next topic is the mobile version. So if you use our mobile app for Android or for Apple, or you just browse from your phone, then you will see a different version of the Deal Analyzer. I would say it's a light version, but actually it contains almost everything. But this is something that you can use on the go. So first you will have all the information that you analyzed already on the desktop. So let me switch this to the mobile view. I hope it's not too small for you. So let's see if I can increase it. Okay. Okay. It's my bad. Sorry. I need to keep this. Yeah. Please give me 30 seconds. I'll just take this down. Some technical issues, but let's see if it's load. Sorry.
Lucy, you asked about, whilst Aviram's just dealing with this, you asked about, can you analyze properties that you already hold or held in the past? Yes, you can. You can analyze pretty much most things you put in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
and,
basically you can use sorry, Nick, you can use the Deal Analyzer for existing properties. So from the My Portfolio page, you can hover over the property row and click on the Deal Analyzer icon. It will get all the data that you already have on your existing property, and then you can analyze the long-term assumption for this specific property and see if it's worth to keep holding this property or not. Sorry, Nick, but
yeah, have you got that, Lucy? So basically, yes, you can. You can do existing properties, old ones, or obviously future ones as well.
Yes. Okay. So this is the mobile version. In the mobile version, again, you should start with typing the address. Then you have two options: the rent analysis or the flip analysis that we haven't touched this session. If I click rental, I will get the map, and then I would just need to put the two items of the purchase price and the expected rent. Reduce it and click next. Then immediately I will receive the first year metrics. And here I need just to scroll to the right to see all the metrics and also the long-term metrics. I will see the charts, the same charts from the desktop version. You can see the expenses breakdown. And then I can start refining the results. So I can click on add details. And basically this is very similar to what we just demonstrated before. So you have the purchase details section. You can get also the estimation of the property value and the rental income, the stamp duty. You can put the refurb costs, the closing costs, and you can play with the cash investments, loan details, the operating monthly costs, and to put the prospect details if you want. Click on firm, and then you will see how it impacts your metrics. So this is very useful, like on the go, to use it. You can just see the results, refine the data, and back and forth. You can also use the postcode information from here. You can save the deal, and you can also configure the long-term assumptions by clicking on this blue link. So this is the mobile version. You can use it. Any deal that you save on the mobile version will remain, of course, on the platform when you log in from your desktop version. I will switch back to the desktop version.
Whilst you're doing that, it's just good to reiterate the fact that the mobile version is very useful for obvious reasons, because it's with you all the time. But it's also good that when you're on the fly and you happen to come across a deal, or maybe someone you meet down the pub tells you about a deal, or you're at a show and someone wants to sell you a deal, what this does is it gives you the ability to input the data and see it for yourself if it matches up and if it's going to be the one that's going to take you forward. It's a very good tool to double check what people see, what people put in front of you. Not to suggest that anyone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but the bottom line: this is your investment, this is your future. It's better to get it right now than it is to go and get it wrong and work that one out later on. We believe having this in your pocket any time you want it is a very useful thing, really.
Definitely. For sure, when you go to viewing to view the property, and this is connected, by the way, in the dashboard, and you will see it also in the alerts. If you recall, on the deal we just analyzed, we put the date for viewing this property. So if you put a date on the deal details, you will also receive a reminder on the dashboard and notification on the alerts sidebar. So I think that we have only one topic left, and this is how to finance the properties. So I will try to make it quick because I think we're running out of time. So we have.
So before you jump in there, Aviram, can I just cover something? Another question just come in that's referencing the actual analyzer for a second before you go down the route of the finance, which is clearly important. But we'll just get this one out of the way quickly. Enzo has asked, in terms of the deal analyzer, what does good look like? Very good question, that one. Is it a personal opinion, or is there any kind of indicator? The answer to that one is we don't put any indicators in there, because if we put an indicator in there, that will be skewed to what we believe a good deal what a good deal is or a good investment is that we believe. Everyone has their own view of what a good investment is, based on where it wants to take you, where you want it to take you, rather. For example, as Aviram put in earlier on, some people might invest for the long term. They want a particularly vanilla investment whereby cash flow is not important. They don't necessarily want the income on a month by month basis because they have another job. As long as it pays for itself and pays the bills and looks after itself, they want it for the long term. So therefore the long term metrics are going to be far more relevant to as an indicator. Some people want on the other hand, some people want to be a professional landlord on a month by month basis. They want an income from it. So therefore, it's going to be more, those indicators are going to be more relevant. So it's really, the answer to your question is, it is a personal opinion. It's down to what you want it to do for you. Obviously, there are other things like the flip analyzer if you're going to be flipping deals as well, which is a topic that Aviram's going to cover another day. But basically, it's down to where do you want to go with your investments? What do you want them to do? How are you going to grow your portfolio? Do you want to put cash in and get the cash out again at some point? And all these things, playing around with the figures now, using this, will show you what a good deal looks like and when and how it's going to serve you over a period of time. I hope that answers your question, Enzo. A good question, though. Good shout. That's a very good shout, because it is important to know where you want to go with this one in the front end. Anyway, sorry, Aviram. I just thought I'd just jump in with that one now. Back over to the financing, which obviously is the lifeblood for all of us.
Yes, so this is important to mention that Lendlord, the core functionality is free to use. So you can use the Deal Analyzer. You can use all the other functionality. The way we monetize the platform is by referring you to services. We are not passing on any of your data to third parties. Just if you want to get the service from this provider, you can contact them directly. For instance, if it's the Mortgage Works, it's like one of our partners. And we also have our own services. So if you need the finance, so you can use it from the Deal Analyzer, as I showed before, like for a specific deal. You can also go to the mortgage search page, and here you can put, if it's a purchase, all the details, and just update the details and click save, and then click on search, and it will show you all the relevant options based on your profile. It's important to say that our engine analyzes the personal profile that you entered, also the portfolio schedule that you entered. So it also will take into account in this specific demo account, I don't have more than one applicant. But if I want to apply with a partner, some lenders, I think most of them will take the portfolio of both of you together and analyze it. So we also do it for you. Or if you apply as a company, you will see different rates than applying as individual. So you can also test it out. Another thing that you can do, so yes, you see like the rates jump because when you get a mortgage on a limited company, usually the rates are higher. Another thing that you can do is to check remortgage options. So if you put your existing properties, just select remortgage with capital raising or without capital raising, and then click on the search. When you put remortgage, then on the property, you will have all the properties that you already entered on my portfolio. So you just need to select them, and the platform will put all the information here. You can tweak the data if something is missing. Click search, and then you can see the options to remortgage this property. We cover, I think, almost all the specialist lenders in the buy-to-let area. Then if you want, you can proceed with our broker partner, and hopefully soon we will launch our own online mortgage broker, and then everything will be online. If you work with our partner, you will not get charged by any broker fees, and you can earn cashback on completion from Lendlord. So we get a commission and we share part of this commission with our users. If you need a bridging finance, they're basically Lendlord act as a lender. So we have our own facility to lend bridging finance. You can go to this questionnaire. I think, Nick, if you have the links, you can put them on the chat. If not, I will put them afterwards. The way to go to the bridging finance is from the dashboard, click on bridging finance, or from the Deal Analyzer. If you use the Flip Analyzer, you will see there are also the rates that are available for you for Flip. Then you have a questionnaire. You just need to put your answers, and you can see how it impacts your expected monthly rate. Bridging, of course, is more expensive finance. You really use it just to bridge until you can refinance the property to a standard buy-to-let mortgage. So you just need to answer, and you can see how your answers can impact the rate. And then after you answer all the questions, you will receive an online application on your Lendlord account. Let's go to the end. I will see the terms. If I'm happy, I will click proceed. And when I click proceed, I will get back to my Lendlord account. And here I can manage my application. Soon it will be also for mortgages. Now it's just for bridging. But it's something that that's very helpful for you and for our underwriting team, because all the interaction is can be there. Of course, you will have a call with the team, but you can review your inquiry details and update them. You can upload all the relevant documents from here and review the terms, and you can schedule a call with our team. So this is also our bridging facility, and I think this is the last topic we had for this webinar. Nick, we want us to cover anything else, or like last questions, or Nick? Okay. So I will just
Sorry,
go with
techno issues there. Hold on. I'm just sharing the broker. Somebody asked about the res. Some questions have come up here. Do you? Sorry, Sandra just quickly asked. Do you have any information for finance for resident landlord? I think if you means do you have any information for finance for a resident landlord? I'm not entirely sure what you mean there, Sandra. If you could just clarify that one, please. Aditoro says he's used the bridging finance for his last auction purchase. Very fast service and very good rate. Thank you. Oh, that's very good of you. Thank you, Aditoro. Enzo wants to know, will future versions of the platforms accommodate HMO properties and rent collections as it does today?
Yes, we currently we support the HMOs properties. If this was the question, so basically you can, when you enter the property details, when you add a property, or you can of course edit it after that, on the sidebar, go to the section called property details. You can put that this is an HMO. You can put the license due date and get the notification when it comes to an end, the number of units, and also the specific activity, if it's a large HMO, standard HMO. So you can store these details. You can upload all the relevant documents for the HMO property by clicking on the three dots, upload documents. You can manage all the documents here. You can add any other document. And in terms of rent, on the My Tenants, you should basically put all the units and the tenants. You can add on the columns the unit, or just, I think I just need to put it for, yeah. So you have also the unit name, and you can create more than one tenant slash unit tenants and the tenancy for one property. So basically, this is the best way to manage the rents that are coming in from all the units. And then in the profit and loss page, you will see the income and expenses for the entire HMO property. So we do support HMO, and we'd love to get feedback as always if you have more suggestions and perhaps like enhancements or issues that you're experiencing.
Going on to that one, we've had over the years, we've had many, we can't know everything. You guys are gonna be using it. The more that you can suggest stuff to it, the quicker that we can get it done. We can move very quickly. So if you come across something that we've missed out on, because obviously the team that we're working with and our knowledge is everyone's going to use the system differently. So if you do have anything that you think is going to be better, then by all means pipe up and let us know, and we will develop it as quickly as possible. Quick one for you, Aviram. I'm being mindful of the time. Let's have a look. Somebody wants. Lucy wants to know: does the analyzer take into consideration different situations of the London market? Did you get that, Aviram?
No, sorry. Can you repeat?
Does the analyzer take into does it consider different situations within the London market? The London market basically it can change from street to street. When you're using external APIs to external systems which are giving you data, none of them are going to be 100% perfect. It just doesn't work that way. It's going to be street by street and stuff like that. We'll give a general overview of what it might be, but it is just a general overview. It's going to give you a guide to assist you with your figures. Anything else you got to add to that one, Aviram?
Yes, that's correct. Like basically, you can analyze a given postcode in London to get all the information, and then it's up to you what to do with these numbers, how to analyze the deal.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look. Jamil wants to know, I just wanted to ask, is it possible to show your equity on the purchase price as this adjusts when you add the property value and the value is subjective?
Is it possible to show our equity on the purchase price?
It's possible to show the equity on the purchase price as this adjusts when you add value. Oh, I see. So in other words, if you're doing a refurb, I'm assuming, and then obviously the value does adjust.
So the way I like, so we have the flip analyzer that we will do like perhaps at another webinar just for that. The way I do it usually, I just put, so if I'm going to do a refurbishment in the first year, I'll put a difference between the purchase price and the property value. And then I will put the refurb cost here. So I'm going to invest 12K and also 4K in furnishing. I will have some other costs. And then I will basically see what is going to be my ROI the first year. So basically, I'm going to do 11% on the first year just from this property appreciation, basically the difference between the property value after the refurbishment. But for that, I would more use the flip analyzer, but I don't think we have the time to analyze it now.
Okay, thank you. We will get more as these webinars go on. We will do more webinars on the more drilling down into more intricate data. But again, we've been in now, so I'm gonna do one more question now, and because this is a good one. Do you think that solicitors and conveyancing are key for any property purchase? Also, linking to property accountants or tax consultants is a value addition. In other words, are we going to, or can we link to solicitors for conveyancing and or accountants for tax purposes? With the Aviram, do you want to cover the tax one?
Yeah, so for tax, we have some modules that cover taxes for your existing properties. So you can still use the estimated profit and loss report. You can see, so this is the demo account for the deal analyzer. I don't have a lot of data, but in general, you can see the income for the last tax year and the expenses per category, and you can drill down into a specific property in a specific category. You can see the entire categories, and you can upload receipts. And in this report, you can also take a look on what is going to be your profit after tax, what is before and after tax. And if you get to the estimated tax report, you will see also the breakdown of how we calculate the tax when there is a separation between if it's a private property or a company property. So you also can do this on Lendlord. And we have some insights about inheritance tax and capital gains tax based for your entire portfolio and for a specific and for each property. And for that, you need just to go to my portfolio, click on the property page. In property page, you have the metrics for this specific property. You can see also tax insights for this property.
What about things like Zero and making tax digital, Aviram?
So currently, you can link your bank account. This is also part of the premium plan. And here we use, or you can link your Zero. So if you already link your bank account to Zero, you can link Zero to Lendlord and get all the transactions from there. We use for the open banking company called Glide, regulated by the FCA. We also, Lendlord has a license from the FCA to act as an agent of Glide. We support, I think, almost the banks in the UK. You can securely connect your bank account. We get the read access. We don't have any of your credentials, but then the platform retrieves the transactions every day for you, and you just need to allocate them to the right property and to the relevant tenant and payment, and then this is the way to track your rent collection, and you can see it on a dedicated page.
We're also working with HMRC on the Making Tax Digital as well, which thankfully has been, well, I say thankfully, has been put back to 2024, if memory serves me correctly. But at some point, we're all going to be subjected to it, Making Tax Digital. The Lendlord system will support Making Tax Digital.
Yeah.
So essentially, the information that you put on Lendlord as you're running your portfolio, you can and you will use for your tax purpose, for tax purpose on your annual returns, so to speak. With respect to the other part of that question was solicitors and conveyancing, it's work in progress. It's on our roadmap. It will be happening at some point soon.
Yes.
Okay, look, I am mindful of the time. It's been an hour.
Yes.
I'd like to say to everyone that thank you for being here. Thank you to Aviram, who's over in Tel Aviv at the moment. And you will, this video will be available tomorrow on Property Tribes, and it will also be available on the Lendlord YouTube channel. There will be a thread to all these questions, and there will be links to the questions that have been asked as well. I'm going to share with you now a link to, if anybody wants to schedule a call with Aviram to get a sort of more of a one-to-one look into Lendlord, by all means schedule a call with him and he'll talk you through it. I've put on the chat group the links to the bridging and also to the broker as well, and if anyone hasn't created a free account yet, I'm going to put that on there as well. Yeah, so thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nick, and good night.
Wait a minute, Lucy, just quick question from Lucy before we go. How much is the premium connection, please?
Okay, good question. If you want to upgrade to the premium, it's £15 per month on the monthly plan. So if you want to pay month by month, and it's £12 per month if you pay for the entire year. So basically £144. If you pay for the entire, you get 20% discount.
There you go. So it's not a, and remember that we're talking stuff that's tax deductible as well. Not that I can advise anyone on tax, of course. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll speak to you all again soon, hopefully. Take care. And remember, numbers never lie. Put your numbers into the system and it will guide you. All right. And speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.